Hey everybody, this is Josh from WR Long. Today we're going to show you how easy it is to install one of our live third function valve kits on this Kubota L4701 with an LA765 loader. Alright everybody, so before we jump into the install, I'd like to take a minute to talk about some features as well as what's included in this specific kit. The WR Long live third function valve kits are loader specific, so what comes in the kit may change depending on what loader the kit is for. WR Long currently has about 600 different valve kits, and we usually try to ship them within 1 to 2 business days. The kits are easy to install and usually takes about 3 hours to put on. So this valve kit's going to include the valve assembly with control module and a mounting bracket, a replacement joystick knob with a rocker switch, an inline fuse holder, one hose to tie into the Power Beyond port, 2 long work hoses. One end's going to connect to your WR Long valve. The other end has the bulkhead plate, which is going to mount to your torque tube. It has 1/2-inch Pioneer style quick couplers with dust caps, and that's going to be your disconnect point for your attachment. Alright, so the first step to the installation process is going to be to go ahead and mount this WR Long third function valve. Now, according to the instructions, it says we want to mount this valve between these 2 loader valve mounting brackets, and we're going to do that by reusing the existing hardware. Alright, so now that we got the WR Long valve mounted, the next part to the installation process is going to be to identify the Power Beyond port. On some tractors it's more difficult than others. On this one it's pretty simple. The Power Beyond port is going to be identified by a green marking on the hose. What we want to do is we want to disconnect the hose from the Power Beyond port on the loader valve. We're going to pull it down and we're going to route it back up to the T port on the WR Long valve. Then we're going to grab the hose that was provided in the kit. We're going to connect one end to the P port on the WR Long valve, and we're going to connect the other end to the Power Beyond port on the loader valve. Alright, so next we're going to jump into installing the long work hoses. On one end of these hoses you've got quick couplers. And those quick couplers are going to plug into the A and the B ports on the top of the WR Long valve. The hoses are going to run down the loader frame, and it's going to go down to the torque tube where you're going to mount this bulkhead plate. Alright, so now that we finished running the hydraulic hoses, the next part of the install is going to be the electrical. Supplied in the WR Long kit is going to be 2 black shielded cables. One of the cables is going to be a solid red wire. This is your 12 volt, 10 amp supply line that's going to power the WR Long valve. Typically we just say go straight to the battery using the supplied inline fuse holder, but you can also run it to a 10 amp, 12 volt ignition source if you prefer. The other cable is going to have 3 wires in it, a blue, a green, and a yellow. This is the cable that's going to run up your loader joystick post to your supplied WR Long handle that has the black rocker switch in it. So next we want to install the WR Long handle. The handle is going to install on the loader joystick post. We will want to remove the factory knob in order to do that. This one simply pulls off. Once we get that off and out of the way, we'll take the handle, we'll slide it over the existing post, we'll put it in the orientation that best feels comfortable for you. You'll tighten down the 2 set screws and lock those in place with the jam nuts, keeping the handle from moving in the future. Once that's done, you can take the wires that come up from the WR long valve, you'll fish them through the handle, and you can pull them out the switch hole. You'll cut the wires to length. You'll take the spade terminals provided in the kit. You'll crimp them on the ends of the wires and plug them into the back of the switch. You can then take the switch, pop it back into the handle, and reassemble the back cover of the handle. All right, so now that we've got the WR Long third function valve kit installed, before we go and actually use it, we want to run through a couple things. We want to make sure that all of our hoses and fittings are tight. We also want to make sure that all of our quick couplers are fully plugged in. It's also a good idea to run through the full range of motion on the loader. You want to raise it all the way up, lower it all the way down, dump and curl the bucket completely. And what we're looking for is to make sure that our hoses aren't binding up or pulling tight in any way. Once we've done all that, then it's time to test the third function and go to work. Hey, we appreciate you watching our video today. Please make sure you check out our website at wrlonginc.com, where you can see more videos like this one. You can check out the current products that we offer, as well as locate a dealer in your local area.